What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cards and Coffee, and on today's episode of the Progression Series Reloaded, we're going to be opening not only two more amazing sets, but the stakes this episode are pretty high. Coming off yet another win, I feel very confident, but I have to be on my A game because this week, it's going to be really important to win. Once again, we have starter decks up for grab, starter deck Jaden and starter deck Cyrus. Both of them are kind of lacking in the monster department. I guess the Cyrus has another copy of Dekoichi, and I believe the Jaden has an Exile Force. Ricardo already has a couple of those, but it'd be nice if I could get my hands on it. But there are also amazing staple cards that really I would love to get my hands on. Stuff like Reinforcement of the Army, Enemy Controller, Giant Trunade, and a card that's eluded me for forever and Ricardo actually just recently got. Heavy Storm is up for grabs in both starter decks. So no matter how it goes this week, I know for sure at least I get one amazing card. I'm super excited to start cracking open these packs. There's a couple good things along the way that I'm hoping to get my hands on. But before all that, I do have to talk about last episode. Both Ricardo and I played Chimera Tech Over Dragon incorrectly. Both of us missed a tiny bit of text on the card that says, this monster can attack your opponent's monster any number of times up to the number of fusion materials you use to fusion summon it. The way Ricardo and I were playing it, we just thought that, well, if you used 4 materials, then you got 4 attacks, whether it was monsters on the field or not. But of course, when has reading ever been a Yu-Gi-Oh player's strong suit? Let's be honest. As funny as it was, at the end of the day, the results should have been the same. Game 1, Ricardo had a Spirit Reaper in attack mode, so I could have continually attacked that Spirit Reaper for game, so Game 1 was still mine either way. Game 2, theoretically, could have gone either player's way. I actually only had one monster on the field, so I would have had one more turn to try to play the game, and, you know, who knows what would have happened. But Game 3, even though Ricardo only had one monster on the field, I still could have summoned my Drillroid, attacked over the monster, and then one-punched him for game. The Overdragon was like over 10,000, so yeah, even though it couldn't attack multiple times, once is all you need. Even though both Ricardo and I played the card wrong, at the end of the day, the results, if played out correctly, would have been the same. Now, going into this episode, Overdragon is still going to be a powerhouse in the meta. Future Fusion is still at 1, and Overload Fusion has also been put to 1 now, so having a more pure Cyber Dragon strategy really isn't going to be that consistent. I'm really glad that I got to pull it off last episode. That way you guys can kind of see what the potential of that deck was back in the day. And going forward, I don't know if you'd be able to go pure Cyber Dragon again, but I definitely think you could easily splash just the one Overload Dragon into whatever deck plays a Cyber Dragon. I have no clue what I'm going to play this week. I'm really excited to try to mix things up again, but first, as always, guys, please go grab yourself a cup of coffee or something. That way you guys can sit down and tune in. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, first things first, the winner's wheel. This one's for Power of Duelist, and there's some pretty good cards in there. We'll spin the wheel and see how lucky we get. This week's secret rares are still wild, but in 2007, they reintroduced the secret rare in the main core sets. So next week, the secret rares are wild cards no more. All right, first spin, Power of the Duelist. Let's see how lucky we get. Hopefully, we start out strong. Coming off a win, I feel pretty good. All right, Ultra Rare is a super solid rarity to hit. Okay, I lied. I just checked. Ultra Rare really has nothing outside of another Chimera Tech, so I guess I'm going to grab that, even though Overload's going to be at 1 now. But I guess now I have a playset of Overload Dragon. I'll take it, I guess. All right. We'll give this a couple of spins. This is for Cyberdark Impact now. Again, I actually don't have a lot on the top of my head. Oh, back-to-back Ultras. There really isn't a lot of good Ultras in this set either, so I'm just going to grab the Fusion Monster Cyberdark Dragon. I really doubt I'm ever going to play it, but I guess it's something I could use, maybe? I don't know. All in all, the wheels were cool this week, but completely unneeded. I'm just excited to get to our pack opening. I'll see you guys at the opener.
Hey guys, so made a big mistake and accidentally deleted my pulls video, so instead I'm just gonna have to go and give you guys the overview of what I got this week. I think I pulled about as well as I could from Strike of Neos. Unfortunately, no Shein or Grandmaster, but I did pull plenty of 6 Sams. I also pulled some viruses, some marionettes, and a puppet plant. I would have liked one more puppet plant, but Yeah, what can you do? As for the 6 Sams, like I said, I pulled a bunch of them, but no Grandmaster, no Shien, so might not be happening anytime soon, which is a shame because I do have the double rotas to really work with them right now. Probably the highlight to me of this set is 2 cards. The first being my Grand Mole. Unfortunately, I only pulled the 1. I would have loved to have gotten 2, but I can't complain about having just the 1 because Grand Mole's a really great out to a lot of problematic monsters. It's very reminiscent of my Wall of Illusion from the early days of the series, except now it's pretty much up to me what I don't want to deal with. If I can get this out alongside my DD Warrior Lady, I think I'm pretty much set in getting rid of whatever obstacles stand in my way. The second highlight card is DD Crow. We got a playset and I can't be happier because, well, not only is it really great to have right now in the Chimera Tech meta, meaning that I can banish Cyber Dragons from Justin's grave before he gets the chance to overload fusion them, it means that in the Synchro era, if Justin pulls something like a Plague Spreader, that's not really an issue I have to worry about because of this place of DD Crows. We pulled a couple ritual monsters that I will probably never see play, some 6 Sam support, 1 Dark World dealings, I would have loved a couple extra, and a lot of traps that really aren't going to be seeing play. This set's kind of rough. It's a lot of archetype support, and if I can't really pull off the archetype, then it's pretty much worthless to me.
Alright, first things first, 24 packs of Strike of Neos. For me, really the highlight of this set is DD Crow. I'd love to get a playset. It's only a rare, so it really shouldn't be that hard to get. In addition, the 6 Sams make their debut. It'd be nice to get some of them, even though this wave of the support really isn't super needed. I definitely think that archetype in the future would be really good if our pulls went correctly, I guess. Not only that, but Dark World support returns. Primarily Dark World dealings is what I'm trying to get my hands on. DeFi and macro are definitely a thing, so I definitely have to respect them. But, you know, if my pulls go good enough, I'm not afraid to run back Dark Worlds. I'm not gonna lie. Here's hoping for some good luck. First pack, flipping it up. Bunch of nothing. Oh, Advanced Ritual Art. That's pretty hilarious. We do have the Demise. That would be pretty funny to try. Next pack. Okay, here's Twister. That's a pretty decent rare, just generic removal for face-up cards. If there's a lot of floodgates in our game, this actually might be viable to side, even though I do have the double Dust Tornado now. Okay, we got an ultimate rare Grand Neos. Complete garbage. Wow, another Grand Neos, just another card we are never going to use. Super unfortunate. Waste of an ultimate rare and waste of an ultra rare. Ooh, there we go. DD Crow. I'm glad I got one. Searchable by Sangin and Witch. Just a solid hand trap. The game isn't too fast right now, but we're not too far from this card being really relevant. Hopefully I can get at least one more. Hey, ask and you shall receive. Very next pack, another DD Crow. And here's some of the new Dark World support. Again, I don't see myself really playing it. Maybe if I had dealings, we could talk about it, but right now, I'm not even really crossing my mind. Halfway point, and the third DD Crow. That's awesome. Oh, I forgot about this card. Neospacian Grand Mole is a very good card in old Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe not as much right now, but once the extra deck is part of the game with Synchros and Exceeds, this card gets way better. Alright, third Twister. If ever Ricardo is on this crazy floodgate deck, we're definitely ready. Last couple packs, flipping them up. Ancient Rules as an ultimate rare. This is good in Blue Eyes, and I do have a Blue Eyes, just saying, so maybe when we hit 2015 or whatever it was, then maybe this will be relevant, but maybe it was 2016, I don't remember. And, oh, wow, that was a pretty decent last pack. Second Grand Mole and a great Shogun Xian. As far as Samurai Sport goes, that's pretty good. All in all, this opening went pretty good. Super excited to move on to the next one. Got our playset of DD Crows, got 2 Grand Moles, a couple of Skyscrapers, playset of Twisters, a couple of unique cards like Puppet Plants and this great Shogun Xian. But all in all, pretty happy with what I pulled this week. Let's go to the next set.
As for Force of the Breaker, this set is extremely rough. I pulled a Captain Gold, which is probably the best in terms of my hero support for this set. Then I pulled a bunch of Crystal Beasts that I'm not entirely sure I can properly utilize. I might be able to. I don't know. You guys leave it in the comments if I have a Crystal Beast core. I know Dragon doesn't come out till next week, but I mean, they're there. As for spells, I think Field Barrier might be the only real card here that could see use going forward because a lot of its archetype support. The Twisters may make a good MST alternate in the future, but no. As for that, we just got a lot more 6-Sam support, and ultimately this is a pretty lackluster set. I'm definitely not going to do this again, so let's get to building.
Alright, second set of the day. Force of the Breaker. First pack. Bunch of nothing. Next pack. Again. Okay, there's Topaz Tiger. And Scattershot's not bad either, I guess. Okay, Warrior of Atlantis. That's a pretty cool card. I believe the Gravekeeper one's in here as well. The one that searches Necro Valley. Hopefully I can get 1 or 2 of those. That'd be really nice. Okay, Ultimate Rare Topaz Dragon. We got 2 of those. That's hilarious. Second Scattershot. And we got one of the turtles for the deck too. Oh, Volcanic Shell. Hopefully we can get 3 of these. There he is, Commandant. This is an amazing card. We have 1 Necro Valley, and I believe we have 1 Terraforming. So this just gives us more copy of that card if ever we wanted to like side deck into it. So super awesome. Volcanic Doomfire. I don't think we'd ever play Volcanics, but there are some parts of the engine that we want. Like here's the 3rd Scattershot. And the Volcanic Shells are probably the best cards, at least for us right now, so we'll see what we can get. Okay, second shell, that's really awesome. Hopefully we can get 1 more. We're just past the halfway point, so we definitely have time. Boom, just like that. 3 Volcanic Shell. That's definitely one of the best cards we could have gotten this set. And we also got a Sky Scourge Enrise. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to play that. Coming up on the end here, ooh, there's Rare Value. That's the draw card of the deck, right? Huh. Man, no, even then, like, again, without Pegasus, the deck really just doesn't do anything. Hey, there's another Commandant. Ooh, this one's ulti. Better believe that's the one I'm going to play before playing the rare for sure. Gotta bling out the deck. Last pack. Let's see what we get. Nothing. This pack had a lot of potential, but really, we didn't get all that much. We got a lot of the Crystal Beast support, including the rare value, but without Pegasus, I just really wouldn't touch that deck at all. Even though technically there's a bunch of really cool cards. Nah, we got better decks to play this week. All in all, the first set was a better opening, but we got our play set of Volcanic Shells, so that's pretty useful as well. I don't know when we'll play it, but if ever we need it, now we got it. Overload Fusion's at 1 this week, so I don't know what I'm going to play. So I'm going to go back to my card pool, flip through everything, and hopefully we can bring this spice this week. I'll see you guys over at the Deck Builder. Peace.
While I did enjoy last week's match of Chimera Tech Mirror, unfortunately I can't compete with the speed of Future Fusion. While I do have my own copy, I don't have the second copy of Chimera Tech to make use of it. So I have to figure out how to slow the game down this week, because if Justin can hit Future Fusion again, it's pretty much guaranteed to be game over. So, once again, BLS Jinzo, the Cyber Dragons, our Warrior package, and Breaker all return. Kyoko returns to the main deck to guarantee that Overload Fusion isn't a threat. In addition, he also blocks potential BLS on Justin's side of the field. We got Witch and Sandgan returning to search all the monsters in my deck. Spirit Reaper returns as the main defensive lineman. And we've got double Banish the Radiance to make sure that Justin's machines aren't hitting the grave. Of course, Justin could be playing any other deck, but I feel like Banish the Radiance does a pretty good job of disrupting everything but Banishment. Next up, we've got Jowgen the Spiritualist to make sure that monsters can't be special summoned, because I don't want to see Cyber Dragon or Chimera Tech, and Jowgen prevents that until it's time for me to bring out my own. Last week, Justin played Level Limit and Gravity Bind, meaning that my higher level monsters were pretty much useless. So Mystic Swordsman level 2 has joined the Warrior lineup, both to make sure that I have a monster to out those 2 cards, but 2, to put pressure on Justin. I can easily get out BLS and Cyber Dragon and Jinzo. But if Justin's playing defensively, I need a card that can get rid of those defensive options and make Justin play offensively to get over the Mystic Swordsman, leaving him vulnerable. So Mystic Swordsman level 2 is both kind of a sacrificial pawn, but also my way to make sure Justin can't play defensively. I'm running 1 flip effect monster this week, and that's Magician of Faith. While I liked Morphing Jar, I can't risk filling Justin's grave and giving him a new hand to play with. While it helped me in a lot of ways, it's something that is a little risky, and with Chimera Tech being present in the game, I can't risk filling Justin's grave that easily. New to the deck this week is DD Crow. I'm running him at 2, even though I pulled the 3. I just feel like if I get stuck going first, which Justin likes to pass on to me, I can't risk drawing 3. So we're playing the 2 because it's a nice way to get around Cyber Dragons and it's a nice way to get an easy dark into my grave for BLS. Of course, Justin once again may not be on Chimera Tech, but DD Crow is still a solid card, and I can always side it out if Justin isn't on Chimera Tech. The spell lineup once again is powerful. Graceful Charity is the only draw card. Painful Choice to both thin out my deck and fill it with lights and machines. The double Rotus to search out my warrior toolbox. The Reborn and the Premature to revive monsters from the grave, either sent by Premature or just for my own incompetence. Book of Moon is now in the main deck to make sure that Chimera Tech is basically useless. If I can Book of Moon the Chimera Tech, then it's just a nice 0 attack, 0 defense monster sitting there waiting to get popped. I've dropped Creature Swap and snatched it from the main deck this week, which was a hard decision to make, but I needed more traps, and I don't think Creature Swap is fast enough to compete with what Justin has right now. Every one of my monsters this week is very essential, and I can't risk giving them up with Creature Swap. In addition, Creature Swap is a very slow card. It means Justin needs monsters on the field, and right now I'm more worried about him getting them into the grave. So I don't think Creature Swap is the way to go this week. If I bring back Treeborn, Creature Swap is definitely back in, but for right now, I had to take it out for Change of Heart to be the only monster control card. Raigeki is my only form of monster hate this week. As much as I like Dark Hole and Lightning Vortex, they're very harmful to me as well. I can't always guarantee I'm going to have the card to discard for Vortex, and of course, it only hits the face-up card, so if Justin's playing defensively, it's not going to do me much good. Dark Hole is punishing to me as well, and this week, I can't really afford that. Heavy Storm and True Nade are my biggest forms of back row hate this week. While I do enjoy having MST and Dust Tornado in the main deck, Justin doesn't play enough back row to warrant them, and 2, if Future Fusion hits the field, it's already too late. So MST and Dust Tornado aren't really going to do anything. And more importantly, I'm not afraid of Future Fusion itself as much as I am the grave being filled, something that MST and Dust Tornado can't really prevent. So I'm more focused on hitting the back row in general versus one specific card in MST and Dust Tornado. As for the trap lineup, we're going pretty heavy this week. Double Solums, a Mirror Force, double Seketsu Armor, because I need to make sure that if Chimera Tech attacks, I have to have a way to deal with it. We're running the double Wing Blast to make sure that I can waste the Chimera Tech, and the double Raigeki Breaks to make sure that I can get rid of whatever I need, whether it be monsters or back row. The side deck is where things get interesting because once again, I'm bringing back Magical Scientist as my way to get easy machines onto the field, along with the one Overload Fusion this week. But I'm bringing back the triple Fusiliers because I'm running the Skill Drain package. In addition to the Fusiliers, we're adding Goblin Attack Force and Zombira because they're both searchable via Rhoda and they both benefit from Skill Drain. The Skill Drains also have the benefit of making sure Chimera Tech will hit 0 and pretty much shut down any other deck Justin would be playing. We've got the Macros if I feel like Banishment is more necessary. If I think I need to go Banishment route, then these will definitely get sided in. We're running MST and Dust Tornado as generic back row hate in the side deck, and to make sure that I don't deal with special summons alongside the Jowgen are double Royal Oppressions. The side deck was a really hard choice to make this week. I could have filled it with cards that, are pretty universal, things like Royal Decree, but I feel like it's going to be Chimera Tech or bust, and I think these cards pretty much shut down anything else Justin may be running. I can't risk losing the Chimera Tech. Anything else, I think I can make into a grind game, but Chimera Tech is just so explosive, it warrants the entire side deck. Next up, we've got my own Chimera Tech, which again is a side-only option this week, but I think it's absolutely necessary. Running the triple Cybersaurus and the Robos just to make sure that I can Magical Scientist some material into him. But overall, this week's going to be interesting. Last week was very explosive, but this week I'm going to see if I can slow things down. Either way, I'm looking forward to it.
And we're back at Dueling Book, building another amazing deck. Today, we're bringing Monarchs. I've been wanting to bring this for the last couple episodes just because I've had Treeborn Frog. Even though in the future there's going to be even better variants that I could bring forward with this, I just thought this would be something really cool, especially when I go to the side deck. The logic for this week is just to play a very toolbox Monarch deck because I really don't know what Ricardo's going to bring this week. If I had to guess, I'm going to assume Ricardo's bringing something with his Warrior package because, well, those are probably some of the best cards he has access to, and theoretically, I guess the Monarchs have a pretty good matchup against that. Depending if he's going anti-meta or chaos or very graveyard-centric, then going into Game 2, I plan on smoke screening into a macro Monarch variant. We'll get to that when we get to the side deck. Starting things off, of course, Jinzo, one of the best single tribute monsters in the game. I'm not playing any trap cards this week, so he has no confliction whatsoever. One Zaborg, one Mobius, double Thestalos, same package as last time. This is really just the best Monarchs I have access to. Double Vanity's Fiend, I don't know if this is correct or not. I feel like it's wrong, but if I know Ricardo, he's always somebody who really wants to go special summon heavy, so I definitely think this is going to be a really cool card to play in the deck. It might not be that good against the Warriors that I actually think he's going to be playing, so I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe I'm making a mistake. After that, we got the double Cyber Dragon. This is just free tribute fodder. It's a free 21 beater. It's a free summon. It's everything I need in this deck. After that, speaking of tribute fodder, of course, the Treeborn Frog. If we get access to this early, it's going to be a very good day. Just free tribute fodder for all our Monarchs. And again, it's going to give Ricardo the impression that I'm going to be very Grave-centric, so he actually might get caught off guard when I pull it out for all the macro stuff. After that, we got double Tomato, Sangin, and Witch, just our little floating search package. After that, double Decoichi, a little bit of draw power. They are machines that partner with our Cyber Dragon, hint, hint. And after that, just some good stuff one-ofs, Tribe Infecting Virus, Breaker, Magician of Faith, and BLS. There's not a lot of lights in this deck, more darks, honestly, but I still think this card is insanely powerful, and if I'm missing a light, I have a couple of ways to get to it if I need it. Moving on to the spells, we have 3 Upstart Goblin, just, again, trying to play a 37-card deck. It's very nice that this is unlimited now. Graceful Charity and Painful Choice, the 2 most powerful deck thinners in our deck right now. No Pot of Greed and no Mirage of Nightmare, so this is definitely the best that we got. Painful Choice is awesome because, again, it can help me get Treeborn Frog online, but also it can also put machines in the graveyard for the win condition. And on top of that, you could always just like reveal 5 amazing power cards. This card's insane. The new addition to the deck is 3 copies of Instant Fusion. This card, it's so good, especially because we have 1,000 Eyes Restrict now. Back at this time, Restrict was banned, so you really didn't get to play this mechanic, but anyone who plays Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Knows this combo, because, well, we do it today. You can Instant Fusion, bring out the 1,000 Eyes, steal your opponent's monster, and, well, today you link it off for Linkaribo. But in this deck, you get to tribute the 1,000 Eyes for a Monarch. Speaking of stealing monsters with Restrict, we also have Change of Heart, Snatch Steal, Brain Control, and Creature Swap. Again, just taking all Ricardo's good stuff, and yeah. After that, we got the removal cards, Raigeki, Dark Hole, we got our Giant Trunade, and MST. I think these cards are really amazing right now, and definitely maxing out on all of the removals is pretty important. For the last couple cards, we have Reborn and Premature Burial, just bringing back stuff that we might have used, maybe for tribute fodder, or even bringing back 1,000 Eyes Restrict. This actually fusion summons a monster. It's not a special summon like Metamorphosis, so it's going to be properly summoned to bring back. The last 2 cards, Confiscation, just had 1 extra slot I needed to fill with this deck, and I thought this fit pretty well, especially if he's on Tsukiyomi again. And of course, the last card, Overload Fusion. I didn't want to go full-blown Cyber Dragon this week, but I kind of piggybacked off of what Ricardo did last week, where I have the Cyber Dragons, I have some machines, I got Painful Choice and the Treeborn Frog, so it'll be pretty funny if I could pull off the combo he tried to do last episode. Moving on to the side, though, hopefully I can show him off the Treeborn Frog, maybe the Cyber Dragon strategy game 1. He's going to probably side into Macro or DeFi or maybe DD Crow or something, trying to hate on my graveyard, and then little will he know, he's going to actually help out my strategy. I'll have the 3 Macro and DeFi for myself, but in addition, I will have 3 copies of DD Survivor. This is just a free 18 beater that constantly recurs itself during the end phase anytime it's been banished. So not only will it set up tribute summons like Treeborn Frog did, but 1800 coming back over and over, it's really no joke. This card is really good, and I hope I can see it early. After the smokescreen cards, I have the double Waboku in case he's on like full Cyber Dragon OTK or anything that's pretty crazy. Then after that, just a couple of different trap cards in case he's on some kind of like skill drain or beatdown deck. 1 ring, 1 torrential, 1 dust, and the second Mobius, just in case I really need a hate on back row. Moving on to the extra deck, it's not that crucial, but every card I've put in here has a purpose at least. Obviously, 1,000 Eyes Restrict, the main card for the Instant Fusion. We have a level 3 and a level 4, they're both dark. Level 5, that's light. 2 machine targets, and of course we have Fiend Skull Dragon. You can't attack with Instant Fusion, so you can't really do that. But if he has Magical Scientist or even his Cyberstein that he pulled, which is pretty crazy, then I can always steal it with one of my Snatch Steal cards, and then of course bring out this. Same goes for all these other fusions, lights and darks, and just very versatile cards. Again, I'm not playing Metamorphosis, but these guys might come up. But the main card this week, of course, Chimera Tech Overdragon. next to the Thousand Eyes Restrict. All these other cards are just kind of for show, and theoretically, maybe they come up. Again, I don't know what Ricardo's going to bring this week, but I'm definitely ready to hit him up. I hope you guys are ready for another awesome episode. It's time to get your game on. Ricardo, dude, what's up? How's it going, man?
Nothing much. You know, this week doesn't really give us much in terms of new stuff, but after last week's match, I got to figure out how to play around both Future Fusion and Overload. So it's been a nice week of building.
Yeah, it's funny because when I was starting to build a deck this week, I was trying to think whether or not Overload Fusion was going to be as relevant this week now that it's at 1. But Cyber Dragon's such a good card. You could honestly argue playing Cyber Dragon with some other machine cards and then like the 1-up Overload if it makes it work for your deck. So while it's not something like last week where we're just going to consistently be bumping it out, it's still definitely a threat in the game that we're going to have to respect at some kind of degree. Whether or not we brought it this week, I don't know. We could definitely be mixing it up this week, but I don't know. I definitely this week tried to make it to where I don't want to spoil anything, but I definitely wanted to keep my options open. I guess I'll say that.
That's the exact same process that I had going into this week. Our ban list was made to prevent stuff like Chaos Emperor Dragon, and then Chimera Tech showed up and immediately took control of the game. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we do. I mentioned it earlier in the openings and in the intro. The winner gets to pick next week's starter deck. Starter deck Jaden and Cyrus are up for grabs. A lot of the staples are the same, and at the end of the day, I'm getting a Heavy Storm, so I know I'm going to be really excited for that. I know you've had True Nade and Storm, and it's been kind of scary for me, not going to lie. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting Brain Control either way.
That's true.
So I'm good. It's less pressure than the other starter decks have been.
All right, Ricardo, let's do this. I'm excited for this episode, and next week's opening is going to be really insane. A lot of really good cards as well, so definitely want to give myself an edge with the starter deck coming into next week. Yeah,
I think after this week, everything is pretty big in terms of what comes out, so this is
the next couple episodes is just going to be big after big after big. You go, next week's going to have some really crazy sets, and then the week after that is both the Dark Arm Dragon and Light Sworn in 1 week, and then the week after that I believe is Synchros. So yeah, the game's going crazy places, that's for sure.
Nice little calm before the storm here.
Right. All right, bud.
Ooh.
Good luck. Ooh, Paper Gang, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good luck, bud.
Yeah, same to you. I'm going to have to take second this game.
Second? Huh. I think this is your first time opting to go second game 1, isn't it?
I think so.
All right. Drawing for turn. Stand by main. I think to start things off, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to set a monster and pass.
All right. Stand by main. All right, I'm gonna start off with Rhoda.
Okay. Still on the warrior package.
And I'll go ahead and search DD Warrior Lady to hand. Next, I'll set 1 monster face down, and I'll follow up with a mystery back row, and I'll pass.
All right, starting turn. Okay. Standby phase, anything?
You're good.
All right, main phase 1. I'm going to activate Mystical Space Typhoon. Targeting your set card.
That is a good hit.
Ooh, Mirror Force. Okay. Gotta respect it. Next, I'm going to flip summon Dekoichi.
Yeah, that's good.
Effective draw. Ooh, and we're going to keep drawing. The newly unlimited Upstart Goblin. Gonna draw again. This is interesting because if this is DD Warrior Lady, then I know I can play around it. But if it's not, then I think I get punished by it on the next turn by you following up with it. I guess I'm just more nervous of it being like a Sangan or a Witch. So I'm going to attack, and worst case, I take 200. This isn't really the most optimal play, but
all right,
I feel like...
you called it. It was a Witch.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And to keep myself safe here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Spirit Reaper.
All right. Main phase 2, I'm going to perform a tribute summon. And I'm going to summon Thestalos and activate the effect to randomly discard a card from your hand.
Yeah. So 5, huh?
Yes, sir.
That one does hurt a little bit, but gotta take it.
Ooh, that's a big one. Okay. I'm going to pass.
Here we go. All right, standby, main. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Banisher of the Radiance, and then I'll set one and pass.
Ooh, okay. Starting turn. Standby phase? Anything?
You're good.
Okay. So to just blindly summon that to the field, I'm going to have to guess you either have Sakuretsu Armor Set, which you haven't really been maining, or that's Book of Moon. So I think either way, I'm just going to normal summon Breaker and activate the effect to gain a counter.
Okay.
All right, and we'll break the back row.
All right, I will activate Regeki Break. And
Forgot.
I'll go ahead and discard. Tough decision, but I'll have to banish Spirit Reaper as cost. And I'll pop the Stalos.
Okay, so this gets banished. Thinking what I want to do here. I could just crash, but then it puts a light in your grave, and I just don't want to look at a BLS next turn. But I know you got DD Warrior Lady. Tell you what, if you want the light, then I guess I'll just let you crash into me. That way.
All right. I'm very happy that you used the counter because now I can summon Kyoko to the field.
Ooh.
And
I haven't
I
seen
will
this one in a while.
Run right over Breaker. All right, so now Kyoko's effect, and I'll banish Dakochi.
Yep.
And now Banisher for 16, and I'll pass there.
All right, starting turn, standby main.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna Dark Hole.
Okay.
And I will normal summon Mystic Tomato.
That's good.
And we'll poke for 14.
Yeah.
And I'll pass.
All right. Standby main. That's a risk, but I can't afford you getting Tomato off. So I will.
Ooh, okay, exile. Dang.
Give a little 1-for-1 exchange here. Exiled for Tomato. And I'll pass there.
Thing, yep. I was kind of hoping for the Warrior Lady, but I mean, that does pretty much, the same thing, I guess. Tell you what, I'm going to pass.
Ooh.
Your turn.
All right.
Your little warrior package is kind of annoying, man. I'm not going to lie.
I love the Warriors. They know what to do, I'm going to go ahead and keep Warrior Lady safe for a turn.
I'll pass.
Damn. All right. Let's come out here. Swing in with DD Warrior Lady. And I'll pass there.
Okay, I got a couple options. I think what I'm going to do is brain control the DD Warrior Lady.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to tribute it for Vanity's Fiend.
Did you pay the 800 for brain?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Vanity's Fiend. That's a real pain in the ass.
I know you really like Jowgen, but this one's a little beefier. Gonna poke for 24, I guess.
Yeah. I knew the second that Vanities were introduced that you would at least run one of them. And I was dreading
it's crazy because it's searchable by witch, actually, too.
3,900, huh?
Yep, I'm almost dead.
All right, here we go. Let's start things off with Graceful Charity.
Yep.
Draw 1, draw 2, and draw 3. All right, I'm going to go ahead and discard Jowgen and a new card, DD Crow. But it's fine because with this, I'll end the game anyways. Change of Heart to take control of Vanity's Fiend, And now I'll go ahead and tribute him off to summon my buddy Jinzo. And now I'll banish Kyoko and Banisher to bring in the beatstick himself, BLS for game.
All right, game 2. BLS. Chaos monsters still find a way to steal games.
Hell yeah, baby. Bonds.
All right, draw phase.
Yeah.
And we're going to go straight to main phase 1.
Yeah.
And we're going to start off with Upstart Goblin.
Good to me.
All right, I'm going to set a monster face down, and I will set 1 back row and pass the turn.
All right. Standby main.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Graceful Charity.
In response, I'm going to chain Macro Cosmos.
Okay. So whatever I discard goes banished instead.
That's right, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and banish Spirit Reaper and Raigeki Break as cost. I guess the question is, what would you put face down? Alright, I'll summon Exiled Force, and I'll go ahead and 1-for-1 exchange again here.
Yeah. I definitely misplayed. I should have just put this face up. It has to be face up on the field to come back.
Oh, DD Survivor.
That was me being stupid. Yeah.
Alright. And
That was
then
dumb of me.
I'm going to go ahead and set 2, and I'll pass there.
Yep. Starting turn. I will set a card and pass.
Alright, draw. Standby main. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just summon Kyoko to the field. And I'll go to battle and poke for 18. And I'll set 1 more and pass.
Alright, starting turn. I'm going to special summon Cyber Dragon.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, then I'm going to immediately tribute it off for Zaborg. And use Zaborg's effect to pop your Kaiku.
That's a hefty cost, but I will soul him the Zaborg.
Okay. And I guess I'll pass my turn from there.
Standby main.
Yep.
Alright, here we go. Rhoda.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm going to go ahead and grab... This time I'll grab Don Zalug.
Okay.
And I'll summon Dawn to the field and go to battle. So Dawn will poke.
Alright, 1400.
I'll activate the discard effect.
Okay.
And I'll go with this card.
No! Of all there's one card the whole time. I'm just like, don't hit this one card. Because I was going to activate it last turn, but I'm like, nah, he can't kill me. So I'll just use it next turn when he puts another body on the field. God damn it.
And now Kyoko for a free 18.
I'm salty.
And I'll pass.
I guess it's a
that.
1 in 3 chance, so it's not like completely unfathomable. Ooh. All right, I'm gonna set 1, and I'll pass.
All right.
See if these DB1 packs treat me good.
That's pretty scary. But I think I'll be okay here. So I'll go ahead and blindly poke here. Don Zalug.
All right, I'll take the 14.
And I'll go ahead and send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave.
All right.
Okay.
Do you
And
want to tap
now-
your Kaiku too?
I gotta risk it. This is for game. Let's go, Kaiko.
Yep, you got it, bud. I had nothing.
Damn.
Oh man, it's all right. It happens. I totally honestly, 100% misplay here. I should not have set the DD Survivor. That is what completely threw the game. I needed this to keep going, to keep up my grind. It has to be face up to come back, and I don't know what I was thinking by setting it. Again, I was trying to bluff Mirror Force to at least get you to change one to defense, and then like have you swing with Dawn to try to rip a card to give me one more turn. Would it have even mattered? No. See? Top deck another macro. It doesn't matter. Well. Oh, well. Yes. What do you do?
So game 1, I went for more control. Didn't main deck Overload. So I relied just on, the Warrior Toolbox. Game 2, I sided in the Skill Drain package. Because not only do I have the Fusiliers, but I have Goblin Attack Force. And I figured I'd toss in Zombyra since it's a warrior I can search with a nice 21k attack. The other half of my side deck was actually Macrocosmos, just in case.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you brought something that I kind of figured you'd kind of fall back on. Just another version of your Chaos deck, just with more of your Warrior Toolbox centric cards, and then just filled with more staples. Yeah, that's a bummer. So, okay, game 1, I actually was not maining the macro and the DeFi and all that stuff. I didn't know what you were going to do this week, so I thought maybe you'd be trying to counter the Cyber Dragon strategy. So maybe you would have tried to maybe main deck the macro and DeFi yourself. I didn't, it was a possibility. So really what I started with was really just a regular Monarch deck. I had the Treeborn Frog, got the Painful Choice, obviously. I got my Brain Control, Creature Swap, Change of Heart, all this good stuff with the Cyber Dragons. I main decked the Dekoichis and the Jinzo because I actually did main deck the one Overload, just because I knew if I had Painful Choice, I'd reveal like all my machines in Treeborn, and you would give me Treeborn, and then from there my deck is thinned. I'd have Treeborn online, and then once I hit Overload, then I win. Plus I would have 3 Upstart Goblins, Graceful Charity, and that was kind of the logic game 1. Didn't really work out that way, unfortunately. The Warriors are a lot better against this matchup than I thought, not gonna lie. Just being able to just pick my floaters and banish all my monsters, or really playing around that was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. So then game 2, what I did is, once I saw all that and I saw you were still on Chaos, I pulled out all the grave effects, the Witches, Sangans, Tomatoes. I pulled out the machine package outside of the Cyber Dragon, and I still played the Doikoichi, as you can see. And then I just went heavy macro, 3 DD Survivor, 3 macro, 3 DeFi, put in a couple more trap cards like the Torrentials, the Ring. And then, of course, I didn't get to resolve this. I had the chance game 1, and I didn't do it because I was trying to, play around the DD Warrior Lady and the fact that you had Exile also. But I don't know if you know this, but I hit the Thousand Eyes Restrict in my opening. So this is an amazing card in my set. Not only being able to steal it, but then tribute off my monster after the fact for a tribute summon. And, of course, kind of similar to what you were trying to do last week with Magical Scientist, I also played Cybersaurus. Just in case I needed more machines in the grave, I could tribute it off for one of my Monarchs. Or you saw them already. I main decked the Vanity's Fiend, and I also had the Jinzo, like I said. So it's like Instant Fusion, I main decked at 3 just because of how versatile it was. It also puts Lights and Dark in the grave because game 1 I main decked BLS. But yeah, and then it was basically meant to go Chaos, Monarch, and then once you saw I was relying on Treeborn and all that stuff, then I was hoping you'd side deck DD Crows and Define Macro, and then it would help me because, that's what I'm playing. But yeah, honestly, I just totally threw game 2 by setting my DD Survivor. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But hey, you get to pick the starter deck this week. I'm curious what you get. Next week, the sets are pretty crazy. Both of them offer really good cards, so the opening's going to be insane already. I know it, but I'm curious. Either way, I get a heavy storm, so I'm super happy. But which of the 2 starter decks do you want to add to your collection? Cyrus or Jaden?
So looking at the list, the monster lineup doesn't really matter for the most part. Both have a pretty trash lineup with 1 or 2 exceptions. The Cyrus deck would give me a 3rd Dekoichi, which would be great, but Jaden would give me 3rd Exiled Force, and as of this list, they're unlimited. But what's tipping me in favor of Jaden is compulsory.
You know, it's funny. I don't think I pulled a compulse either when in our what is it, the Invasion of Chaos, right?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I pulled one.
It's like a really good card in the future once we start getting like synchros and exceeds. So that's a pretty good staple card for sure in the future.
Yeah.
It'd actually be pretty crazy for you because you'll have Bottomless, which I don't have, and then I know you have. If you got that, you'd have Compulse. You have Mirror Force, Sakuretsu. Yeah, your trap lineup's pretty stout. Plus Double Judgment, which eventually is going to go to 1, but yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I think I got playsets of pretty much every trap inside the Cyrus deck. So I think the Compulse and the third Exiled Force is going to tip me in the favor of taking Jaden.
Okay. Sounds good. I was happy either way. You know, Heavy Storm was really the card that I had in my mind. The Exiled Force does sound nice. I don't have Rhoda to search it, but it's just such a really good toolbox removal card. So it's pretty smart for you to try to keep me off of it. Brain Control I already had, and it's going to get banned eventually, but, you know, it's still a cool card to have multiples of. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in again. Hopefully we see you guys next week. The episodes are going to be insane for the next few weeks. I hope you guys tune in. I'm a little bummed with the results this week, but I know Ricardo is definitely still trying to get a hat trick on me. So who knows? Maybe this will be the start of a little winning streak for him.
Third would be at the beginning of the 5Ds era, if I'm not mistaken.
That is true, and I honestly don't know what structure decks are available. But like I've said in the past, I don't plan on it, but... All right, guys. Here's hoping to see you guys next week. Peace.